What if it were you? A poem. What if it were you that was born in a faraway land, a place filled with olive trees that was gently placed by hand? What if it were you, a child so innocent and young, saw military men outside your home, each one gripping a gun? What if it was your home that was raided through the night as they ransacked your belongings and gave your family a dreadful fright? They took your father far away, their Hebrew was hard to hear. The words that you did know made you freeze up in fear. What if you were a teenager who saw a man of 19 pull his first trigger, his eyes awash with obscene? A path he only knew, a path he couldn't shake, a path that stopped a heart, a life he had to take, a path that stole his soul, his humanity and his mind, one void of empathy, and kept him loyal, dark and blind. What if this was your family? What would you do? Would you scream out into the world as they silence and censor you? What if it was your children that went missing through the night? Would you beg others to join you as you fight for your people's right? What if this was your life, where oppression was the norm, where you had to toe the line and were made to conform? When resistance is in your blood, your ancestors' DNA, they brutally force you from your land when all you want to do is stay. What if it were you who held your granddaughter tight, whispered your last words as her body lost its fight, and fell into your arms, hair across her tiny face, you hold her so close whilst cursing the human race? What if it were you that had to show the world your hurt, your destroyed tent, lack of food, and children covered in dirt? What if it were you, not a scrap of food in sight, left for starvation as your body loses its fight? What if it were you on the other side of this screen, your home torn to pieces and your people don't mean a thing? What if you watched another try to get their friends to see that you are a human being and a devoted mother of 3? You watch as they turn away. They really don't want to know. They have a luncheon to tend to and don't want to spoil their happy glow. What if you were crying and saw a video on your feed, a woman talking about manifesting your best life, her eyes shining with greed? What if it were you that changed place with another and you could live the life you want whilst they had to suffer? What if it were you, a phrase that said so much because too many people have lost their way and their human touch? What if you were born in a place that swelled with flowers and trees, though you could never go back, even though you still have your keys? What if the land could speak and share or cry or yell? Could you imagine the kind of stories the land of Palestine could tell? A land so far away, a land that fights to be free, a land that calls its people home in every single plea, a land that holds a special place in every Palestinian's heart, a land torn from its ancestors as they were forced to depart. What if it were you and your life was broadcasted online, and instead of holding this phone, your home was in Palestine?